Okay, so I finished pinning my accent piece all the way across the top. Now, this is kind of the fun part. You're going to take the biggest piece of your fabric and you're going to roll it very small. And I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but you're just going to roll this up towards the top, just like this, until you see your cuff piece. Voila, there's my cuff piece. So I'm going to roll this, okay, and just when you thought we were done pinning, we are not. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to take this cuff piece and I'm going to fold it over the top, over what I've rolled here, and I'm going to pin it to the top edge. I am not pinning this part that I rolled. So I'm folding this over the top and I'm pinning this to my top edge. It's a lot of layers to go through. Okay. You just want to make sure it's straight, make sure everything's even, and pin it all together. Okay, line it up, take the pin out, and put it back in through all the layers. Okay, same thing, and I'm just moving down the line here. Make sure everything's straight and lined up at the top. Going through all the layers and just pinning everything into place. Okay, making sure it's lined up. Okay, almost done. I've got a few more pins. Down and then up. Okay. Make sure they're all lined up here. Down and then up. Okay. And my last one here. Straighten them all out and pin. Okay, so it's pinned. Now it looks just kind of like a tube of fabric. If you looked on the inside, everything that's pinned here, this is my cuff piece, the top of my big piece, my accent piece that's folded, and the other side of my cuff. This bunch of fabric, this is the big piece that I rolled up, and that should not be connected. That should just kind of be rolled up on the inside. Okay? Now, the next thing that you're going to do is you are going to sew. You're going to backstitch. Backstitch is really important. We got a lot of layers to go through, and you want to backstitch from one end. I would do 1/4 of an inch in from the edge. You don't want to sew too close to the edge. And you are going to backstitch from one side of this piece all the way to the other side through all of those layers. You are backstitching. Okay? And then you're going to do an extra, triple, quadruple finishing knot to make sure it stays. Okay? If you have a sewing machine at home, or mom has a sewing machine, or grandma, or whoever, you are more than welcome to use it if you have permission and you know how. They could do that on the sewing machine. I'm going to guess that a lot of you don't, so hand stitching will work, which is what we'll be doing in class anyways. Okay, so back stitching all these layers together from one end to the other, about 1/4 of an inch in. If you have trouble keeping your stitches straight, I would take a ruler and I would mark it, like use a chalk or a pencil and mark your line that you're stitching on. That makes it a little bit easier to keep your stitches straight, okay?